Hey guys, what's up? It's Tofu here, bringing you guys another Kingdom Hearts Union Cross video, and I'm going to be starting a series calling it Tofu Tutorials, and these are basically just going to help you guys in any way that I can. So in this video, we're going to be talking about how to optimize damage output for like how to make setups and stuff, like how to upgrade your Keyblades, where do you get that stuff from, and yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. So, getting started here. First of all, choosing the right blades to upgrade with your gems. So, what I highly recommend is you upgrade the Proud Mode blades like Sleeping Lion, Counterpoint, Fenrir, Dark Gnaw, Missing Ink, and Diamond Dust. I do not recommend Stroke of Midnight, or like those tri-colored blades or the dual-colored blades. Even Treasure Trove, Lady Luck, and Three Wishes are fine, but I would more highly recommend the Fenrir, Counterpoint, and Sleeping Lion, since they do have higher multipliers than the stock ones. And the reason why is because their sub-slot multipliers are just so much better than the Fairy Stars, or like the tri-colored blades, because as you can see here, it's level 37 and it's only at 7.4. While I'll find another Keyblade around the same. Okay, so 41.3, 9.6, and it's got 6.408 as a subslot because of its subslot multiplier. This is 1.6, and the tricolored blades like Starlight and Fairy Stars and stuff like that are only 1.0. Where do you get these subslot medals? You get them from completing events, and yeah, that's basically the only place that you get them from. You can also get tier 10 medals, or like just any 7-star medal in general, and slap them in your subslots. They'll help a lot. These are all medals that I have, but they don't fit in because they're not the right attribute. But yeah, so you get them from either pulling or doing events. And then next up, I'm going to be talking about setups and how to make a proper one, because I don't know, a lot of people struggle with making setups. So we're just going to use Sleeping Lion number 1. I have the wrong preset right now, I just have it set on score instead of strength, because I have it set on strength. So this one's just for damage, so like normal usage like PvE or like story quests or events. So usually I would just put a nominate in here for the full buffs for the metal strength. Strength upgrade reverse PSM by 15, lowers defense upgrade reverse PSM's defense by 15 as well. Count plus 2, HP goes to the max, and gauge plus 5. It just restores your gauges. It's a really solid buff for metal in general. I have second chance on this one because it just helps me through a lot of events and stuff. And yeah, its Supernova is also pretty decent with metal strength plus 5,000 and a count and gauge plus 5, I think. So very solid metal overall. It is a bit old. We are waiting for a new meta buffer, as they haven't released one in a while, but this one has lasted for like, I don't know, half a year already, and it is still really solid to use, so I highly recommend just putting it in your first slot. Second chance for or DB6 max works fine, and then continuing on, what I like to do, put my Dark Riku here. Actually, no. For PvE and like story stuff, events, I put my Vanitas there, Dark Riku back here, copy metal back here, Renova over here, and another copy metal over here. So what this does is he does a speed metal strength by 6,000, and wait for this, I think it's 10,000 speed metal strength. This is mainly for buffs because he doesn't have very good traits. The people who have good traits like my Riku only has ground, but that's fine because my Rage Form Sora has ground and aerial. Things like these will actually deal damage, and they also still do give a significant metal strength buff as well. So yeah, speed metal strength by 3,000, and then this does 6,000 for 2 turns, 1,000 and 4,000 for 1 turn. And basically what this does is it buffs, and then the last 2 medals are used for dealing damage along with your friend medal if, I don't know, your friend medal does damage. And then this Renova over here is just so that I can deal more damage with my Supernovas. Okay, moving on to, I guess, not PvP setups, Lux setups. So, This is my luck setup. It kills it in 1 turn. I'm pretty lucky because, well, you don't really need DB6 max, but I usually like to just put a nominate in here just for the metal buffs and gauges, because sometimes my luck setups run out of gauges. And then right here, metals that are good for raiding usually ignore target's attributes, so that they're strong on all attributes, so that you don't have to worry about having 3 different raid setups with like 15 separate raid metals. So I slapped an AB7 max lux plus plus. This raids extra. I'm hoping for a raids trait there. Probably 20 to 30. It'll be fine. Stitch, free metal. He's on my speed setup. Although he's not an ignore all targets attributes, he does pretty good buff for my metals. And even if they ignore attributes, their attribute buff will still attain to them. So let's say I'm facing a power raid boss, and this technically turned into a magic metal, but this is strict speed buffs, and this still applies to this metal, so which is really good. This metal, I pulled for this metal because I didn't have a raid metal that was very good, and I needed one, so I pulled on it, and it is actually a really good raid metal. I really got lucky with my trait with extra 120. I usually never get this. I was really surprised when I got this. Actually, it was on raid week, so I got really lucky there. And yeah, I slapped an 8 max gauge 0 because he is a 6 gauge metal. He does not restore any gauges, and overall he's just a really good metal because deals a bunch of damage with his multiplier and buffs, as well as ignores target attributes. And then in here I have another Mickey, full raids. Yeah, not really much to say about that. So that's basically how you make a raid setup. You put your buffer in the first slot, like a nominee, and then you just put a bunch of ignore all attributes metals after that, and hopefully, yeah, that'll kill the boss for you. And then let's go into PvP. So I showcased this in a previous video of mine, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you have not watched it. So basically what I like to do is, I'm not that high up right now because I'm not really trying this week, but basically what I like to do is put my Dark Riku, no, actually, let's start off with the setups. So nominate again with DB6 max because DB6 max is really good. No traits because I don't have traits for her. Then I have a Renova for the buffs. Second chance doesn't matter here. Renova for the buffs and just the Renova itself. And then here we have the Darku. I have him for buffs and damage because he does a 30% pierce. And he also has the Supernova that pierces defense boost 100% of the time, which is very useful because he just smokes everybody in his path. And then you see I have an off-slot Ventus and a Raid Form Sora. This Ventus is also for Renova. And then this Raid Form Sora is for buffs, and it copies this beautiful metal right here. That does speed metal strength at 6,000, and it breaks defense by 50%. And it also reflects speed.
Very good, very good. Vanitas Cage 3,
Yeah.
OP PvP metal right here, coming from Speedy.
Sorry, that was just Speedy right there. But this is a really good PvP metal because it pierces defense boost 100% of the time on Supernova and 50% of the time on the special attack. So that's what I have on the first setup. Second setup, I don't have a defense boost on it because the setup will usually just clear the first turn and give me a crown on the first turn, and then here we're just going for the 2-turn buffs. So again, a Renova metal, and then a bunch of 2-turn and a Reaper. This won't necessarily deal any damage, it's just for the buffs. And then here, obviously, we have the buffs again. We have a DB6 max extra attack. And we have a Cloud, because I don't have a Strike Form Sora. He has defense pierce 100% on his Supernova as well. And then here we have Cephis. Pretty self-explanatory. They pierce defense 30% of the time. Not the best, and they don't have a 100% defense pierce on this either, but that's fine because this metal just carries through. And why I put this metal here instead of back here is because on auto mode, which is basically what it turns on when you're defending against somebody else, this Renova actually activates 3 times instead of just once, because if you put this after the Renovas, it won't actually Renova the Supernova of the Cloud. So I put it before so that it actually renovas 3 times instead of just once to deal the maximum damage. Hopefully you guys got what I said there. And yeah, so yeah, that's basically it for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe if you liked it, and leave a comment down below if I missed anything and if you guys still need help with anything. And until next time, peace.